Hello everybody, Skippy Gamer here. Welcome to my video review of Kirby's Dreamland 2. As some of you can recall, I played the first Kirby game for the original Game Boy. And while I played it, I had a lot of fun. But very recently, a reviewer on YouTube released a video review on the second game of the series, and I was going to look at the review. Then I thought to myself, wait, maybe I should play the game first before I see a review on it. I mean, after all, I did enjoy the first game. So I played it. And do I think it's as good as the first game? Or just okay? Then I guess we should press the start button and find out. Story. Before I say anything, I got to remind people that I didn't know the story of the first game at all until I got to the ending of the first game and read the description of the first game on Viz.com. Although, I didn't look on Viz for the story for this game, and I didn't really finish this game either, so I barely have any idea at all what the story is about. Although, I do have some guesses. Like, the animal friends we have in the game. Maybe King DDD has kidnapped their colonies or something. Or, maybe he stole all the food from Dreamland again. Maybe both. Maybe none of them. Like I said, I don't know. I am only guessing. The only way I will get to know the story is if I finish the game, or read the description from Viz.com on this game. One of the two. So, I don't really know the story. But due to the fact that there might be a story in this game, and that if there was one, it would probably be as simple as the first game, I decided to give story 1 star. Music. The music is okay. It does use most of the music and sound effects from the first game without any changes. But the game does have some new songs, which most are okay. Although I'm not a fan of the boss theme that plays for every main boss of the game. The songs do change when you ride your animal friends, which I will mention the animals later, which is okay. Honestly, I don't think there is any more about the music that I haven't mentioned already. With everything I said and more, I decided to give music 1 star. Graphics. The graphics to this game are okay. The game is detailed okay in pixels. The coloring, however, is only accurate to the world theme, not the enemy's actual color, which doesn't give it a high score from me, honestly. I just don't think it was a cool idea. The quality you see here is probably not blurry as you see on screen right now or anything. I think it's blurry here because my emulator is not working the greatest somehow. I don't know why, but I am thinking it's because of my Windows 10 laptop not working well with my emulator. I looked on a YouTube video, and after seeing 1 or 2 seconds of the video, made by that YouTuber, I forget his name. Ah, that's it. Thanks, John. I think I have somewhat of an idea on how the quality of the game is supposed to look. Then again, maybe I should have researched a bit more. But either way. At first, I thought I was playing this on the original Game Boy. Although I did a look on YouTube at that video I mentioned earlier, and after seeing the video, I mentioned a second ago, I think I somehow played it on the Game Boy Color version. Probably. I mean, I guess I should have looked before I accessed the emulator on viz.com, but hey, probably. With everything I said and more, I decided to give graphics 2 stars. Gameplay. The gameplay of this game is pretty much the same as the first game, with a few twists. I will only be mentioning some of the new features in this game. One of the differences is that when you swim underwater, kinda weird to mentioning this first, instead of you sucking enemies in, you can blow bubbles out. Another thing is that each stage has a bunch of stars. Some are hidden. And if you collect 10 of them, you can get 1-ups, which is nice. Another thing which kind of frustrates me is that at the end of each stage, you land on a cloud and you get launched. Now here, I believe, if you get better at completing a stage, you can go a bit higher. That's what I thought anyway. But now I am not really sure what you can do to get any higher, which kind of frustrates me. Let me know in the comments below if there is a way to go higher in this spot, because I would really, really like to know. The fact that I can't figure out is killing me. Also, you can suck in your enemies and copy their abilities. This is a nice feature, and depending on what move you're using, can be fun to use. And yes, I do have some favorites, like the flame ability, the umbrella, and some others. Actually, the umbrella is kind of interesting because if you hold the button down, you can hold it out in front of you, and then I know. Some of the powers are enhanced and is handled differently when you ride your animal friends. In the game, you have 3 animal friends which will show up depending on the level. One of them is a hamster, where you just ride him. Other than that, and using some of the power-ups by enemies, there really isn't any other cool features to him except the fact that you can ride him. In fact, he can't even fly like Kirby can. I'm not saying he's useless, I'm just saying using the hamster is no different than playing Kirby by himself, except for the flying thing. But I still recommend using him for certain sections, or if you want something like extra health, so to speak. As for the owl, other than using power-ups, you just fly around, which is nice. Although, I find it kind of a chore to wait until you land on the ground to copy an ability. Same goes for going through doors. Not all of them, though. The last one is the fish. The two useful abilities of the fish is, well, other than using power-ups, is that you can swim underwater more effectively than when you normally can swim underwater with Kirby, and you can move through moving currents that are pushing you back. All three of them, all the animals, can suck in enemies and copy their abilities. And they do use them completely differently than how Kirby would use them by himself. Most of them are useful, although the hamster using the fire ability seems weaker than how Kirby uses it. Don't get me wrong, it's not useless, but on how it is used is too simple. But all the other animals' abilities are cool and useful. Although, you can ignore the animals if you want. Which, I don't see any other use for the animals other than just for some support. Which is kind of ridiculous. I mean, they appear before the title screen comes on, which makes me think that they are important somehow, when it doesn't seem like they are at all. In usage, anyway. And when I mean that, I mean on how useful they are. One interesting thing about this game is that you can now select which level you go to. You have a world map, which represents a world, or level, they call it. And each world, or level, has either 3 or 5 or more stages in each one, with one extra being a boss fight. You can exit each world, or level, by going to the top of the stage select spot of each world, which is kind of cool. I gotta say, I didn't expect the ability to select your levels or worlds in this game at all. It's a nice feature. Although, I recommend you enjoy the boss fights as best you can, because if you go back to it after you finish a boss fight, it changes into a minigame, where you have to dodge all the enemy's attacks, while along the way, 1-up stars, which you could get 10 to get 1-up, you could get those to get as many 1-up. I mean, you can make it feel like a boss fight by hitting the boss as if you were fighting him while collecting the stars, even though you won't hit him at all, but still, I don't think this was a necessary mode. I mean, it can be helpful when trying to get extra 1-ups, but still. Another thing I will mention that's not a feature or anything, well, I'm not calling it that anyway, is that there are more than 5 worlds in this game, apparently. Wrapping everything up, I think this game is an okay game. I like the fact that they pretty much didn't change anything from the previous game, gameplay-wise anyway. It does have some new stuff to it. Some I wasn't a huge fan of, but I did like some of the rest. Though I didn't have that much fun as I did in the first game with this game, probably due to the fact that I had a lot on my mind during my time playing this game. And other reasons. I think this game is fun. When I played this game myself, I did try to play the game in a way that would make it feel like the first game. And it does. It does feel like the first game. Somewhat. Although, I guess I wasn't open-minded this week to... yeah. So, I'd say it is a fun game like the first game. While at the same time, I don't think it's as special as the first game, somewhat. Either way, I do recommend getting this game and having as much fun as you probably have had in the first game, because I do think it is somewhat as good as the first game. With everything I said and more, I decided to give gameplay 4 stars. With everything I said and more, I decided to give this game 4 stars with a silver medal. And I recommend this game to all Kirby fans, fans of classic games, and fans of games made just for fun. Oh, another review done, and this one didn't really take long either. I kind of like these weeks. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Before I log off today, while I was writing this script and read it, I did notice that maybe how I reviewed this game, even the game, especially the gameplay section, could have been weak or something like that. That's how I saw it in my opinion. Especially how I ended things, like I wasn't at my full self that week that I first played it, or something like that. Yeah, I really wasn't that this week. I guess one of the reasons is due to the fact that I wanted to get this done before the week of Valentine's, and yeah, I guess that's one of the reasons, I want to get it done in time, but yeah. But it is a fun game. I mean, from when I played it, it wasn't really as special as the first game was. Who knows, maybe if I go back to it, I may have a different opinion, but either way, I do recommend you get this game. So, yeah. Okay, so, is there anything else? Well, I could mention how far I am in Undertale, but I don't really want to mention that here, because, if I mention something about it here, it could spoil the... what I may want to mention, could spoil the game, so yeah, don't really want to do that. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. All I will tell you is, I am having so much fun with the game. So much fun, and I cannot wait to review this game again to share with all of you guys. And in my head, I'm thinking of a special way I could review this game. I just don't know how I'm going to pull it off. I'm just saying, this one could be a special one. At the same time, it could be kind of the same formula as I've been doing for the past year or so. So, who knows? Who knows? But look forward to it. And while you're waiting, get Undertale. And get this game. My gosh, I got off track there. Okay, so, yep. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you like what you saw today, be sure to like the video. If you like the channel you saw today, be sure to subscribe to my channel. When you comment, no swearing in the comments. Tell friends and family about this channel, and I will see you guys next time. And hopefully, I'll be in better spirit by then. See you next time, everybody. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Yeah, it's Saturday, but, better late than never, huh? Alright, see you next time, everybody. Also, you can suck in your enemies and copy their abilities. This is a nice feature, and it's fun to use, depending on what you're using. And yes, wait. Okay, that's good. And I messed it up. Cut! Also, you can suck in your enemies and copy their ability. Also, you can suck in your enemies and copy their abilities. This is a nice feature, and is fun to use. Depending on what you're using, on what enemies you suck. For the owl, other than using power-ups, As for the owl, other than using power-ups, you just fly around, which is nice. Although, I find it kind of a chore to hold wait and to something's wrong with this. Although, you can ignore the animals if you want, which I don't see. I mean, they appear at the title screen before the title screen, not at the Hey, good thing I brought back bloopers. Hey guys. Boy. I mean, they appeared before the title. Don't you just hate when that happens? And each world or level has either 3 or 5 or more stages in each level. You can leave each world or level by going to the warp star at the top of each stage select spot of each world or level. Okay, I think I need to adjust the script a bit. Although, I recommend you enjoy the boss fights as best you can, because when you finish it, you go back to it. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Although, I recommend you enjoy the boss fights as best you can, because when you finish each boss fight, you can go back to it. Wait a minute.